Thank you, everyone. Nice to be here. Firstly, I would like to thank you for having me to provide a presentation in terms of Cloud Lake for your needs. So, based on our conversation in the past, I think there are some areas to innovate as well as areas to solve in terms of your cloud architecture for your enterprise. So, one thing about Teradata is we're able to manage in terms of the cost of your infrastructure on your data, and we're able to integrate within a simplistic manner in managing all your complex scenarios, complex business cases, and and at a good budget, within a tight budget, so to speak. Okay, so as to start, it's time to clean up your data mess. So your complexity of your data, your redundancy of data. So we take a very lake-centric approach through ClearScale Analytics and our Vantage Cloud Lake. So we'll get into a little bit in terms of that. But the honors of the presentation today is actually to help achieve in terms of greater efficiency and effectiveness as a cloud architect for your business. So the problem with most data modernization strategies is that you have inherited old legacies, old systems, brick and mortar, um, data centers, as well as client systems. Now, so data is everywhere in file servers, in all your old data servers, in your new data servers, and at different project implementation. Now, when I'm talking about project implementation, now the challenge with project delivery is that it's based on individual projects, right? So because of individual projects, sometimes because of governance, so it's become highly, the silo has become more reinforced, more hardened in terms of the silo. So to break away from the silo and to integrate the different systems, which is multiple projects, it could be 10, 20 projects or even thousands. That's where the challenge is, because if you don't have a proper architecture and governance structure, everything could go haywire, so to speak. So tech debt is one, and then moving to cloud, that's another area that you are moving to, would provide certain rationale, certain thought process in terms of how you want to architect in both your current environment as well as your new environment. Second is multiple systems management. So how you store your data, how you control it, how it's governed. These are issues. Like earlier said, with multiple projects, now it's governed in different silos, HR, finance, different operation team, JV, associate companies, etc., etc. So with different standards, and different, um, governance, then your system management is not cohesive. So it can cause a lot of redundancy, a lot of add-on costs into it, and provide more problems moving ahead. So spiraling cost is the third, third area to tackle. And spiraling cost is something that every company, has to do it on a mandatory basis. Without managing costs, per se, you are unable to attain maximum revenue and in hindsight, maximum value. There's a term called critical mass. If you do not achieve that critical mass in terms of the maturity model of your company, then you are unable to provide a cost efficient or cost effective or highly optimized business program. So that business program or that data program or that IT program require the best in terms of architecting. So we'll talk a little bit about that in the next couple of slides. So untangling today's on-premise data and compute mess is such a huge problem, because you have the companies which are born out of the cloud. We're talking about Google as well as AWS. Salesforce is another company. And companies which were coming from the whole on-premise regime, like IBM. We're talking about even Oracle in those days. So it became a mess because of different standards, different distribution methods, different compute requirements, and then the conditions, and then different corporate SLA will provide on top of the data management mess and the compute mess. So things are compounded. Okay, now with the advent of data lake, you have streaming data, you have native object storage or storage data, which usually resides in your file servers, in your intranet. Now it's on the cloud because you want to scale even more. And then you'll be having external data as well, like semantic data, and even different type of data like geospatial data across time series. So untangling that on-premise and data and compute mess is a reality of every corporation. So you are not into it alone. Everyone is. And Teradata, acknowledging this fact, has focused to approach to untangle this issue and to provide a solution that can scale to your requirements. So talking about Teradata, we have innovated beyond our Vantage Cloud Enterprise. So we also have Vantage Cloud Lake, with clear scale analytics, data fabric, and with object storage. You're able to load once and use many, many, many times. So this capability reduces your data silo and pipelines, which was mentioned early on because of the different projects that you have. So in database analytics or in the database push down of ELT, transformations could ensure a scalable and reliable deployment. Data fabric, enables a distributed ecosystem connectivity. So rather you have disjointed, APIs, even sometimes you have even FTP, even like manual upload. So this data fabric can allow you to have a consistent and modern platform in terms of managing distributed ecosystem from a connectivity perspective. Lastly, cloud native object storage provide low cost data storage. Does it make sense to store all your low cost data, the ones that not requiring your LOB SLA, on the enterprise? So having on the lake is a very effective and efficient way to go. So all this can be done on the cloud and also can be integrated with your on-premise. But what's important is how you would architect, how we want to go forward in terms of breaking down the silos and in an integrated model. So having a one-stop shop or like a single source of truth, is a very strong promise, for IT. If they were to say this or create it as a standard or create it as an initiative to all the line of business and to the whole company. However, with Teradata, we're able to help you achieve that. So to unlock all this data and solve all your complex business problem can be done on a cloud native architecture, which can reduce your cost issues or your performance to cost issues, as well as increase your return on return on investment, and your overall total cost of ownership. So the next generation cloud native architecture, everyone is talking about the modern developer platform, low code, no code, even QR scan, data from cell phones, streaming data from IoT devices. So Vantage Cloud Lake provides that lakehouse deployment, and it can run independently on different elastic workloads, in an object store-centric design. So I'm not going to go into the areas of like NoSQL, for example, like MongoDB. We have connectivity as well, through Presto. We have a Starburst solution that not only just MongoDB, but like Hadoop and the rest of the other solution in the market that you may have or may not have adopted, can be part of this lake house or our whole landscape both on Vantage Cloud and Vantage Cloud Lake. So we consolidate, curate, and transform all your raw data. We build transformation pipelines directly to your compute solution, and providing high impact and high growth solution for you that can adapt to the maturity and agility for your company. And with that, greater resiliency from a technology perspective. So this architecture can help you achieve a lot of challenges and obstacles and use cases that's required. So enabling a lake-centric approach with a well-engineered data mesh is a topic that I want to discuss here. So, sometimes when you move data, with immature solution, elasticity from a compute and storage perspective can go haywire. It can even go out of control. So to avoid that, Teradata has provided has created a solution that you can scale up and scale down based on capacity or even based on a blended model. So these are some of the areas that Teradata is able to help support you. And as a governance methodology, it can ensure future project implementation align to the structure and architecture that has been created. Okay, in terms of the next area, a lake-centric approach with clear-scale analytics break through these barriers. So what Teradata provide as an analytics capability, clear-scale analytics is able to provide that, that console, that monitoring of all your reusable feature stores, building or bringing your own models can be integrated as part of it and operationalizing at scale. So monitoring your analytics uh, can be easy and simplified with clear-scale analytics, and it provides an end-to-end pipeline of artificial intelligence and machine learning function to solve all your issues. Business issues that require solving from the line of business, and probably to reduce further costs and improve customer acquisition, even customer requisition, and reducing attrition as well. So different line of business will have different use case, different needs. But what we are able to help provide from Teradata is a solution that can focus on the data lake. Okay, so finally, we hope you can start your lake-centric journey today. We are ready to conduct workshop and to deep dive in terms of your requirements and scope for all your business needs. I hope to see you soon, and au revoir. So thank you for having me, and I hope this had been beneficial for all of us, including myself, to understand what your needs and helping to generate that demand so that it will in return support your enterprise to greater heights. High impact, high growth through Teradata IT Cloud Lake Solutions. Thank you and have a nice day.